What is up, my holy men? Welcome to another Sunday church service. It's your boy, Pastor Skeeterball Jones, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Sword of Azrael. I got issue 1 of this, or issue 1 or 2 of this, as it was coming out in a Texas comic book shop one day when I was out of town, and they didn't sell it at my local one, so I waited for the trade paperback to come out, and I read it, and oh my god, I loved it. Azrael is my favorite DC character of all time. And it's a shame that there just isn't a whole lot of content around him, because I loved Nightfall and I loved this. The only thing I haven't read is Sword of Azrael, but that's because it's expensive because it's out of print. So maybe I'll do a review on that in some far off day in the future. But for today, we're doing Sword of Azrael. Sword of Azrael is basically about a man named Jean-Paul Jones, and he was born from, his father was a cult leader, and he was born into the cult of Saint Dumas, which is basically this saint that got martyred, but he also supposedly was possessed by like the angel of vengeance or something. It was like, I don't remember what angel he's supposedly possessed by, but they basically brainwash his kid from a baby to be the avenging angel that does like assassinations for them and shit. And we don't really know whether or not the angels are actually real or if it's just like psychological programming this whole time. And it's about his personal struggle with that, and also about helping this other lady who's supposedly possessed by an angel, but she was really just kidnapped by a cult. But we don't know if the cults actually have connections to angels or if they're just mad scientists that do brainwashing shit. And that's basically what the story's about. It has a lot of religious undertones, which I love because I'm religious. And I love his character design. My favorite Marvel character is Moon Knight. My favorite Azrael character, my favorite DC character is Azrael. Clearly I have a thing for the crazies, but crazy people wear hoods too, but dude, it's so good. Sword of Azrael gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Great ending, great from start to finish. Never bored reading. I wasn't bored reading it. I would definitely recommend picking it up. The one thing I wish they changed was that they made glossy paper instead of like sort of cardstocky paper. It's a little more high quality than cardstock, but I'm guessing it wasn't a super popular run, so I understand that. But dude, look at some of this shit. Look at this variant cover right here. This shit is so badass. As you can see, I turned my light on because my other videos are dark as shit that I made today, which I noticed whenever I was looking through them before I posted them, but I'm trying to redo like a 20-minute video. So look at some of these other pieces of art. So fucking cool, dude. Azrael is sick as shit. If you don't know who Azrael is, he's the guy that took over for Batman whenever he broke his back. There's some other things about him. I don't particularly know his origin, because I haven't read Sword of Azrael yet. And that's, once I either get to a point where I feel comfortable paying like $50 for a trade paperback on that, even though there's not that much content, or I find a cheaper one, I will definitely review that for you guys. But Sword of Azrael is a 10 out of 10. He fights angels. He fights heathens. My favorite part, because sinners are gay and love watching them get slaughtered. But it's also wrong for them to be slaughtered, because the Bible teaches you to love the sinner but hate the sin. So he's kind of griping with himself like, am I really possessed by an angel, or am I just fucked up? Because is this really God's will or not? So that's some cool ass shit. Anyway, that's the Sword of Azrael. 10 out of 10. I recommend for new readers too, and old readers. You don't even need to know who Azrael is to get into this. Sick as all get out. Anyway, that's my Sword of Azrael review. See ya.